Let me show you. Now, first off, I realize this looks like ChatGPT, but this is my app. I'm building a Rails open source version of ChatGPT. And by the way, you're welcome to use it, and I'd love any help building it. But let me show you this interaction I just finished. So it's right here. I can come over here and make any change. Stimulus, explained, press enter, saves. Or I can just click outside, saves. Or I can make a bad edit, press escape, and it reverts the change. So this is what I just got working, and it was so easy. Let me show you. So first, I mentioned I did the Rails scaffolding. This is just the edit page from edit conversation straight from Rails scaffolding. This is the show page straight from Rails scaffolding. You see, this looks a little styled. That's just because I styled the conversation partial. That's the same conversation partial that's used over here. So if I look at that conversation partial, that's right here, conversation. This was generated by scaffolding. It looks complicated. I changed the styling of it. This is all just styling change, nothing fancy here. But you go over to the show. This is unchanged. It just renders the partial. That left column navigation I have is just rendering a collection of partials. This is the edit form straight from scaffolding. So everything so far, it's just scaffolding with a bit of styling. I've not done anything hard. And so now let me show you how I got the inline editing working. So I came over here to the conversation partial, and first thing I did is indented all that stuff and wrapped it in a turbo frame. Great. So this is the part that's going to be replaced. And then I just took this little pencil icon and I wrapped that in a link, and it just links to the existing edit page that I just showed you. But now what's interesting is now that edit page was pretty complicated. So we go over to the edit page here. I don't need most of this stuff. So I just delete those error messages, delete the submit button, delete this label. So here we go, much simpler edit page. And now keep in mind, this turbo frame is what's going to be replaced with another turbo frame. So I need to add a turbo frame here to the edit page. Great, now these IDs match. And so this is going to get subbed out for this, this is going to get subbed out for this. And then I just add the stimulus controller. So I'm calling it an inline edit stimulus controller. And this right here, this is going to be the target, this text field. And then there's a few actions. When I blur the field, which is unfocused, we're going to submit form. Or if I do key down enter, we're going to submit form. And if I press escape, we're going to abort the form. So this is the stimulus controller. This is the initial boilerplate. You always get a connect method. In the connect method, I just save the original value. I autofocus the input and I move the cursor to the end. That's all that is, just a little kind of JavaScript manipulation. And now this submit form, the key thing here is just doing a request submit. But I noticed every once in a while, the submit can take, say it takes a half second or even a full second to do that submit if you're on a slow internet connection. It's nice to get this, I disable it right away, and that gives this visual feedback that something's happening. And just in case they try and submit twice really quickly, if I detect that it's already disabled, I just short circuit and return instantly. And then escape, that triggered this abort method, which just reverts the input. And I just go ahead and do a submit. I don't have to, but that's the easiest way to sort of get the edit form to convert back. And as you know from standard Rails partial stuff, whenever an edit form is submitted to the controller, it just redirects back to the show method. And the show method does this conversation. Now, the crazy thing is the show page has lots of extra HTML. All of that gets automatically stripped out. Rails just searches for, Turbo just searches for this turbo frame, which will come from here. And likewise on the edit page, conversations edit just embeds this form. And that's it. That's it. There's no changes to any Rails controllers, no hard logic. It's crazy how easy this was. So anyway, thought you might like to see how I got that working.